how to share. Hello, everyone. This is the events planning meeting on September 12th, 2022. We're going to go over events and for the C4C and et cetera, et cetera. Hi, and welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. We are going over an agenda document, which may or may not be posted with the YouTube. And we wanted to begin with what happened last week. I was on a bit of I guess it was sort of like a vacation. I was visiting with my dad, who is recovering from all kinds of health issues. Latest open heart surgery, which I didn't realize how difficult that is. So
I hope he's doing okay.
He's doing really well. He's doing really well. Yeah. He's, he perks up. I think he gets bored, and so he just gets kind of grumpy like an old man does. But if you come around, he's totally down. He's got just health issues. But it was really nice to be around him, and I got to visit with some friends and etc. How did your week go?
My week was pretty good. Busy getting back into things, thinking about voting, haven't done it yet. So that's this week's plan, is to get that done. I'm really thankful for the community having the C4C list, and I'm looking at Little Fish lists and other community lists. So there's a lot of things to consider, but people are doing amazing things. So I'm going to do my civic duty and cast my votes, because I think that's important to participate, because it's a system we have and it might not be perfect, but let's make sure we make it work and change it from the inside if we need to change it. Mm-hmm. So that's what I am up to, and yeah.
Cool. Cole, Afia, you got any reports?
No, I'm also going to say that the week has been good. As you said, WADA was excited because we had the opportunity to showcase some of the things that we're doing, and we're all over the place. It was interesting. Because of that, it was a little bit hectic last week as well. Hoping that this week will be more relaxed, or not, I don't know. Just started. We're thinking of breaking off for Catalyst Town Hall this week. We are yet to decide this meeting. We have a planning meeting at 4:30. So to decide whether we want to break and then do voting and those things. I've still not voted yet. I'm going to send my proposals to you, all of you, to vote for me. I'm trying to get myself organized and do voting, some voting this week. Yeah, I plan to do all the voting this week.
Yeah.
That is it.
Cool. Thanks, Afia.
Yeah, I had a good weekend. I was disconnected, camping up in the woods about 10,400 feet, I think. Yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool. It was like 37 at night though, so it got pretty chilly. And then I started to vote last week. Unfortunately, I have like 6 or 7 different wallets, so it does take me like an hour and a half to a little more per wallet, but I'm making my way through those.
Just to ask, so with multiple wallets, you have to like sign out and then redo with the pin and the thing? Yeah. I've got 2 wallets and 2 phones, and that's sort of how I do it. I'm just
That's
like,
smart.
oh, right. I was like, do people just get a new phone to vote? I guess
I have like an entire spreadsheet of like each QR code with each pin, and it's a lot.
That's smart. Hey Daniel, we're just sort of like going over what how did it go last week?
Hey guys, how are you?
Oh man, super good Daniel. See you. How did it? How was it for you? Are you getting ready to vote? That seems like our sort of what's happening mostly.
Yes, getting my lists ready to vote. I voted on a lot of proposals from the impact list, and we're trying to network a little bit to get some votes into our proposal. But I wanted to join because I got in contact with CardanoCube and discussed making an impact category on CardanoCube, and he told me he's on board, and I'm trying to set up a meeting on Thursday. So I don't know if anyone can join Nori, Cole, or Union, and I don't know what we are trying to do. I think I had this idea, but I wanted to discuss with you guys what could we offer and what's the best plan. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, we've been working with yeah, I think it would be great. And he seems to be on board. It's Milo.
Milo, yeah.
Milo. Yeah. What we can jump into that. I think you know, at the C4C last week there was the birthday party on Wednesday, and there was a meeting with John Buck and a meeting and this is just from the YouTube channel. There was a meeting with Juanita and Melanie about time stamping, which sounds pretty good. Wrapping up this sort of little section about what happened last week. Oh, do we know? I'm looking for the like the overall calendar of Project Catalyst. Have we seen when like the next cycle begins? Yeah.
I think Daniel Rebar has that, and he shared it a few times at Town Hall. I don't know if it's updated after all the voting delays and stuff, but it looks
Right.
like Fund 10 doesn't start until like at least October sometime, maybe way
Okay.
into October.
Okay, I'll put that down. I'll try to track him down and get that, because that's the next thing, because, and with the whole theme of events, is that's when we like to begin this next onboarding, you know, outreach. Oh, and actually there was Cole, there was something, you guys held a meeting with the oh, I'm pulling back to my, don't need that one anymore. There was an impact on the lead generation. You guys did some lead generation stuff last week.
Yeah, we're having a onboarding / support session every Friday at 2 p.m. UTC. So we held that, and then we talked with the LATAM team to help support them and getting to a couple conferences, and then there are going to be some in-person impact lead generators as well. It's really cool.
Nice. Okay,
And
so I definitely want to follow up there.
And we had a Gimbal token PBL meeting on Friday as well, where we went over the roles, and we're kind of working on the Little Fish Ikigai mural board, and we created a section with roles, and we took all the tasks that we estimated from the spreadsheet from a couple weeks ago and sorted them into roles, and it really fell out pretty nicely. Most people agreed that those made sense. So we just need to iterate and refine those, and then it looks like we have like events, like a good starting point to say, this is what an event looks like. Here are the different roles. Which one do you want?
Okay.
And then with the tasks and the estimation, we also know the complexity of each role. So we can divide up funding that way. Oh, but that's also something to mention is we've been funded through the last event, and now we don't have any official funding from
Right.
Catalyst forward. So it's all volunteer or gimbal based until we get more funds in for something. So that's something to note. We no longer have ADA incentives for events moving forward until we change something or get some money in.
Okay. That is good. Okay, yeah, and that's yeah. What happened? C4C, what happening in project? Oh, any other partner organizations events like you know, doing the closeout reports. Was the European Town Hall, was that last week or the week before? The big our last mini impact fests were last week, I think. But yeah. Okay. So let's get on. Yeah.
Something to mention for the mini impact fests, we shared it at the tokenomics meeting with LATAM as well, but we have that asynchronous retrospective board that's open. So if any communities out there did do a mini impact fest, it would be great if you could participate with your community on that board and just talk about what went well, what could be improved for next time, and then we'll make the next one even better. So just looking at our plan, do, reflect, we're in the reflect phase for that. And it'd be great to just get lots of input. And we know what happened around the world, so we don't want to try to set up a single meeting and get everybody in at weird times. So do it whenever it's comfortable for you, but it would be great to jump in and do at least a little bit, 5, 10, 15-minute reflection with your crew.
Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. And that's the one that looks like an island?
Yeah, the one that looks like an island. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. I noticed that one. I think I've got it up at somewhere. Okay.
Nori, do you know when this week is Dr. M's like kind of presentation she's giving?
Oh yeah, that's this week. She's at a blockchain conference in Dubai, I think it is. And she was asked to do a panel conversation, and she's presenting a number of Cardano community impact initiatives.
Oh wow.
So we spent some time like we broadcasted out, please tell us what you're doing. And we kind of, it was really rushed, but we curated, like she wanted 10 to 20 different examples. So we kind of put those out there for her, and she'll be talking about them.
Do we, I wonder if we have a date time link on, is it a public thing?
It's, let me find it. It's in LinkedIn. I saw her post.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I'll bring that up and post it in the chat here in a sec.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for doing that.
And yeah, to that one, I promised getting a few proposals on board, but all the guys I talked to, I don't know whether I rushed them. Later, they said yes, they'll do it, but later they came to me to say, oh, it's too much of a rush, I can't do it. So I don't know whether I should still go ahead and ask them to do it.
Cool. I'm gonna try to take a good spot for notes.
That's the event that she's at. It's called Meta Week 2022.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, I will post that. I will record that in the agenda.
And then I think it already happened. There's a link to her, a picture of her on stage, talking about sustainability goals and global social impact, how technology can help.
Nice. You know, the I ran into some cross-chain stuff. I guess it was something in Berlin, and I shared it with Dan. But there's all kinds of things. It's one of those, in this reflection time, which I sort of think we're sort of edging into. I mean, I guess we're still doing voting and whatnot, and hopefully there will be a cool down week. But in this reflection, it's like the scope can get sort of wider, and we can really sort of like, you know, integrate and settle out. And I've been just seeing other blockchain stuff going on out there. I want to talk about, if Daniel is ready, I want to talk about CardanoCube. And in the general picture, it's like getting categories. It's like, how do we organize all of these projects? You know, how do we, and not just for external purposes, but for ourselves. Like, what are the ways to sift and work with like all that information? And that information is, it's a proposal, it's a project, it's a team, it's an individual, it's an area of focus, it's a region, it's like all this data, you know, that surrounds these projects. And one of the things that, you know, we, you know, like hierarchical, like directories, which is what CardanoCube is, and then sort of like searching and filtering, which sort of is like Lido Nation's tool. Like they have this great search function, and I guess they do that in CardanoCube. And there's a huge area of research around this. You know, in the sort of internet lore, we started out with directories. You guys don't even know, but Yahoo was a directory. of stuff, and everybody put their stuff into Yahoo. And it just became untenable because it got spammed, and and it's just like, how do you organize things that are brand new, and new wine and old wine skins? It is a big topic. The cool thing is that we have Milo from CardanoCube and Worthington, Washington, Livingston,
Darlington.
What's his name? What's
Darlington?
Darlington? Yeah, of course. I love that guy. I love that Darlington from Lido Nation, and they both have been asking about, like, is there a framework of categories of impact? And so that's that. I want to have that discussion now.
I have been talking, we kicked off a little brief thing with Mihailo when we met with her about the Cardano Summit stuff. And one of the side conversations was around, we have blockchain technology and we should be using it to decentralize. Like Yahoo was a centralized place where you sent in all your links and information and they managed it. We should be coming together as a community and creating a metadata standard for organizations to publish their organizational data to chain. And then places like CardanoCube, Lido Nation, AIM can query the chain and display that data in whatever way they want to, but the data itself is on-chain, decentralized, nobody owns it, and it's usable by everybody in any way you want. You can just query it through the command line stuff that you do as stake pool operators, or if you have a node, or you can create a nice UI and create your own website and cut and dice and slice in whatever way. But coming together as a community and saying, this is how C4C, or this is how Lido Nation, or this is how Landano decides to publish their organizational data, to say, we are building on Cardano, and this is what we're about, and here's the categories we're in. If we had a standard for that, everybody could publish their own stuff to chain, and then anybody could query the chain and display it in whatever way. I think that would be a really ideal example of, like, that's how we decentralize. We got to stop putting our data into one company. We got to put it on chain.
Okay. Daniel, Cole, Afia, can you guys, does that resonate with you? Can you pick up on that?
Like with what you're saying before, the on-chain data stuff.
Yeah, metadata for organizations, like to say, this is who we are, here's our website, here's our URLs, here's
Like
some
vision and mission maybe, or like
anything. Yeah, we need to come up with a standard, but the stuff like CardanoCube, you fill out a form, like that kind of stuff should just be published on chain, and you don't have to put it through their form. And then
yeah.
now everybody can query that data and use it and display it. And
Okay.
And block frost is kind of like a solution for that, right?
yeah,
So,
they would have APIs where it would be really easy to query that data out and put it onto your own website.
wow, okay. Going back to like the impact like areas for like breaking it all down into like different categories for impact, and with what we do at Positive Blockchain, could I share my screen real quick?
Of course, yeah. I may have to give you some type of co-host.
You could.
It could be a little complicated, but can you guys see this desktop with like the categories and subcategories?
Yep.
So yeah, pretty much like to break it all down into like its different area impact, we like first do a category. So like, let's say they're working on let me think, for an example, just government and democracy. So like we would say that's first category, and then say the subcategory is like voting or like community mobilization. And then for example, like climate and environment. So like that'd be the first category, and then the subcategory would be like carbon reduction or waste and recycling or biodiversity. And that kind of like breaks them into their own little like segments kind of, and is something we could possibly use or replicate in a way, to
Yeah.
like have the separate categories. And it is a little confusing. It's a lot of different categories and then
Yeah, that's the thing, because I don't think CardanoCube is gonna want 5 different categories for us to put, like agriculture, climate change, carbon, and all of that. So yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to talk also, is how can we make the category as wide as possible, but that we ensure also that good quality projects are using the category not as greenwashing, but really making an impact. So what I've seen from CardanoCube is that you can put different types of things. I mean, like DeFi, and all of these categories. Maybe we can get this code into the types. Yeah. So if you click in any project,
like this, for
Yes.
example.
Yeah, let's try it. Cardano Gold.
look, it says here, it says DeFi, but you can put like 10. If you fall into like 10 different types, you can put all of them. So I think that's the thing we should get to CardanoCube and have one main impact category. And when you go into another one, you can see different.
Like Genesis X, like their launch pad, for example.
Yeah, I'll try to find one that has a couple. I'll send
What
that.
a
Maybe World Mobile. No, but oh, I didn't even realize they added prices too, like for tokens.
that's
really
pretty cool. Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Here, I can stop sharing, my bad.
I'll try to
Uh,
find it.
Or I
Daniel,
can
you
keep
can
sharing.
share. You can share when you bring it up, but I think that's a good point about the categories, like being
Maybe.
like too wide, too specific, too general. It has to be useful, and just a general impact seems to be too too wide, because everything, I mean, from our perspective, everything is impact. Like it's just like, and then Melanie had, when we first were like trying to decipher, we're like, okay, just social impact and environmental impact. And that was kind of our, our solution to like, well, we could go down the rabbit hole and just do everything, or like, are these the main things? And then
You can do both. Like if you have like a tree, then you have everything, and then you have social and environmental impact. And then underneath there, you have stuff, and then below that, more stuff. So CardanoCube could decide which of these levels do you want to focus on. Do I want the 7 categories, or do we want the 50? And but it still allows people to get granular if they want to get granular. But it also, you roll it up and say the broad category that this fits into is X, and then that makes it simple. And I think that could accommodate complex ontologies as well as, or taxonomies, or whatever the right word is, versus simple ones, kind of like the phylum, genus, whatever, kind of,
And it's interesting because Nori, what you talked about with the standards, and Daniel, I'm coming to you in just a second. When you talk about with the standards and is it a protocol, but the metadata. So I think that they sort of need to coexist in a sort of a what and a how kind of structure. The what is the categories. And so me as a project, I have a project, and it fits into all these categories, and I can go around and put it into all the different forms. And I think what you said was good. It's just like what you put into that form doesn't necessarily need to be in the form. You could just create your own form basically, and then publish that, and then let the form come to you. So it's sort of like it's centralized, but it's centralized around the individual, or closer to the thing. And then the collaboration layer is handled outside and in between the two entities. So that's just maybe a way to think about this, that these two sort of ideas kind of go along. And if we can get people on board with a certain type of category, or at least just explaining, and it was kind of like the metadata tags in the old web pages. I don't even know if they do that, where they would have a description and then you would tag it, and then just tagging sort of got to be kind of silly and stuff. But it's really important. You could just tag like your Twitter posts and whatnot, but then sort of getting established tags. Yeah.
It's a hard problem. Like we've been talking about semantic web as a concept for a long time, and I don't think that's ever materialized as a really concrete thing. But maybe
with the addition of the Web3 blockchain technology, does that kickstart the semantic web? Because then all of a sudden,
exactly.
Right. So that's where we could make a real impact to the research and implementation of this new system. Because if we feel like web identities, like this could become a killer app for the web identity of SSI, DDI, DID, stuff, and all those basically mean that you, as an individual or an individual wallet, oh, did I just get into the weeds? That somehow identity in this ecosystem matters more than it did in the Web 2 system.
Yeah, because we're talking about self-sovereign identity and having control over your own data, and yeah, I think all of those tie together here. They're interrelated deeply.
And that means just to me that, like Daniel and CardanoCube, like that just means that this is a worthy focus of our attention.
Yes. I was thinking, I think I was wrong. There's no subcategories in Cardano, but I think we could take a page out of idea scale when you get your proposal. That, I mean, the main framework we all work around, or the world works around in impact, is the SDGs, the UN's SDGs. So maybe we can get into the main form. Let's say have a main impact category that we have to define what's impact. I don't know how C4C really manages which projects are really impact and which are not considered impact, and then put these subcategories that can be taken as tags with the SDGs. So you can go into CardanoCube, you go into impact, you click into a project that gets your attention, and you see which SDGs are they trying to attack. Yep. So that's an idea. I think that could work.
The reason why I love that idea is that it's an established framework, and it's sort of like, at least there's some marketing and outreach out there. Is anybody else sort of like?
I think that's a really, really good idea, and to make it even simpler, see you, Nori, have a good one. Part of the onboarding form for when projects get funded in Project Catalyst, they are presented with like the SDG like frame tool, or like to like evaluate what SDGs, like it's right now optional, I believe, but we could like use that data as well to like add it to the CardanoCube, because I know that's like research and data that's already like getting aggregated, so we could.
And there's also a big part that there are some projects that don't want to be associated as impact only or impact driven, but they are certainly helping some points of the SDGs. So they are not saying we are all only impact, we are doing this to help, but they are helping in some other ways. So if you go and you don't want to be in the impact category because you want to be seen as DeFi, because that's your main category, but people will go in and also look that you're helping with certain SDGs. And I think that's a great tool for everyone. And yeah, it should be optional as well, I think, as ideas.
I agree. I completely agree.
So yeah, the idea of like a project wanting to be seen, maybe their primary category. My primary category is DeFi. And then there's some that are like, no, my primary category is,
It's like us. It's like Metera. We are primarily a DeFi project because we build portfolios. We want to help the market makers do arbitrage, but also as subsequence, we are only helping impact projects, and we are helping the sector grow. So yes, our main focus should be on DeFi because that's how people find us, and our main tools are on DeFi, but we are also doing we are helping the SDGs. We're making portfolios that attack certain SDGs. So that's a plus for us. And, you know, people can know that you are in both, and well, we can leave the impact category to really projects that are only doing impact.
So do you find it, do you find the SDGs like adequate for categorizing and working with the projects such that, you know, you can know like, oh, this one is SDG 17.1 and things like that? Or, well,
I think there's limitations. I think it's really hard to have a main framework that works for everything. But I think with the subcategories, you can do a great job of finding one that suits you. So yeah. And it's also the main one in the world that's standardized all over the world.
I think that's...
So, if I may come in here, I'm lost, but I don't get it because I think that most proposals or any proposal is an impact one. Whether they differ, because really do something to change something. That's why I do it. So
sorry, Afia, it's just a little bit hard to hear you.
okay, I was saying that I'm getting really a little bit off from here because when we say impact, what we want to say, what we want to do, what we want to see. So if you say you are DeFi and not, but you are working with impact, people to be impactful, I don't really get it because if you are DeFi there, you are still doing something that it's be impactful, or
I think what you're asking is like what exactly is impact and how do we, you know, how do we approach it? Is that
yes.
I think that's what, yeah, that is an important sort of thing in having a category to say, you know, we could bring up the SDGs, and that's one of my problems is I don't have like, it's not in the forefront of my brain, like the SDG framework. You know, but for instance, I guess, I don't know, like water, you know, water or voting rights, you know, so, or systemic racism, or, you know, deforestation, or, you know, like those things, is that what?
I'd say there's so many parts to the SDGs that it's like almost impossible to have it like every part of it in the forefront of someone's brain. Like, but I do feel like I don't know. I feel like it can be hard sometimes to like really like, oh, I'm connected to SDG 16, but also 3 and 4. Like there's like they kind of interconnect as well, I feel like. So like sometimes you think you're not connected to one, but you actually are like kind of connected to it as well. What can make it a little tricky, I feel like.
Yeah. Does that help, Afia?
Yeah.
But
just thinking through, yeah.
Like Dr. M says, like impact's really like a theory of change, and like it's like working towards a different like state than your app before in a way. So
yeah, I'm just looking. Yeah, I'm just
trying to
looking at these.
define that. Or
I just think this, I don't know. I think that this would be, I would like to see us just adopt the SDGs and really work with them in a meaningful way. I think
agree.
This is really because of the work that's been done on it, and because it's a unifying thing. I think that would be something I would propose. Like because it's just something that I just, for whatever reason, it's just kind of, I don't know, I glaze over on it. I don't know if it's the centralized thing of it or what, but I'm looking at it. I mean, here are the 17 goals. no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth. Number 9 is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Like that's straight up blockchain. That's Cardano. So number 9, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities. That's C4C 11, sustainable cities and communities. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. Number 13, climate action. Number 14, life below water. Number 15, life on land. 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And 17, partnerships for the goals. Like, yeah, I like that, man. And so, and Daniel, you guys would be like in economic, decent work and economic growth, or like Metera?
Well,
yeah, which one do you think you would fall into with Metera? The
decent
DeFi?
work in economic growth and industry innovation and infrastructure.
But then your projects that you work on could fit into no poverty, zero hunger, you know, any of the other.
So the idea is that we go in the next year and we create one portfolio that it's on the SDG 1, no poverty. Right. So we'll take all of the projects like WADA, like, I don't know, Empower. Well, I think we have to categorize them in different SDGs to see what they are mainly attacking, but do a portfolio specific for that SDG. So people can go ahead and provide liquidity to those projects, and in the portfolio is helping that SDG. That's our main goal with Metera. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And Afia, do you think, I mean, I think that this would be good. I would love to see us all sort of like get behind in a more meaningful and
well-defined impact something. Yeah, I understand your confusion here.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Sorry.
It's okay. And Daniel, do you think that CardanoCube would sort of be open to just like, hey, look, this is what we could use, is just use a category, like just add the SDGs, or like a category and subcategory. So it's just like, I'm an impact and my main focus are these 2.
I mean, I don't know what's the best thing. I think we should discuss this, but there's 2 options. So you have this main category, and also you have tags for everyone. You know, I think the SDGs should be an option for every project to put which SDG they are helping solve or their project. So yeah, even though you go into the DeFi space or any other category, you can check which SDGs they are using, and also having a main one for impact. But yeah, I don't know, maybe the main category for impact is a little bit more tricky, because I don't know which projects should be there, which shouldn't be there, and that's the tricky part.
Yep. And then verifying, yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like that is like the tricky part, and maybe what we were doing before, like breaking them into social versus environmental, is like the good first start, and then from there, the next layer could be like what SDGs they're in, and if they even want to like go further into like the impact they're trying to make, like with KPIs and stuff, like that could be like another like layer almost.
So yeah, there's verifying. I really like, actually, I think that, you know, Melanie once again does, like, she's just very intuitively does these things very correctly. And that first bit is just like, is it environmental, is it social? And then fitting that into the SDGs would be good. I am mindful of the time. We've got I do want to end at the top of the hour, and I want to work on some of the events coming up, namely the weekly events. Tomorrow's working team meeting, which Daniel, if you want, it would be cool if we could get you just for a few minutes, even if you recorded something that sort of summarizes this project, or initiative with the CardanoCube.
Okay.
You know, just say, hey, look, there's a meeting if you want others to attend and that you were going to talk about it. We can talk about the things that we just now talked about.
So
and I can
in the meeting or tomorrow in the working meeting.
It might be working meeting this week, and then if you come up with like a like something for projects to do, like to get back onto CardanoCube, like if you're on CardanoCube and you haven't put in like your impact area, then you might want to, like, that would be for the community meeting. But as far as getting input into this sort of categories, or you may feel like we've talked it out and you're ready to go to the thing, or if you want to come and just say, hey, we're going to have the meeting at this time, and you want more people there for support or for listening in or whatever.
Okay, I'll let you guys know. Maybe it's a great idea that we meet up again and discuss this in a separate meeting only for this. I think there's a lot to be talked about.
Yeah.
And the main framework should be decided for when we go to talk with CardanoCube.
Okay.
So I'll try to set up a new meeting. I'll see the calendar. I have the C4C calendar.
Yeah.
I'll try to tell you guys tomorrow or maybe Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in
And yeah, I'd love to support and help out in those conversations if you guys would like as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I actually want you guys to join the meeting with CardanoCube so we can get into all of
I
it
think I
together.
lost you guys.
can you get them? Oh, Coles might be glitching out.
Yeah.
But we could do that. I'm gonna put you in on the calendar. If you're not there, I'll just mention it, and then if you just post something in the Telegram. But I will bring it up in our working team meeting tomorrow. And,
Yeah, I'll be there.
okay, cool.
Sorry, I think I just missed like what you said last, Daniel.
That I want you guys to come to the CardanoCube meeting as well. So
Yeah.
let's figure out a framework first. What are the options? So what fits best all of the categories, and we'll go to talk with Milo and try to do something.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And even if we just kept it simple at first, like so they could just integrate it to have social and environmental impact, like could be a first step, and then kind of breaking down all the SDGs for each project. What I'd be more than happy to help out with, just with our past work. We've done that quite a few times. So
Great.
Cool. All right.
Okay, Newman, Daniel, and Cole. I'm posting my proposals in the chat. Do vote for me.
yes, definitely.
All right, we'll do it.
I know about Cole's proposal and then the C4C proposal. But Daniel, which one is your proposal?
I'll send it to you.
Please
Okay.
do. Yep.
Yeah, no, please do drop them below. Awesome.
Wait one second. Maybe I'm
I know I got a big list of more. I just keep adding on to my.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd love to. It's because I was just putting like bookmarks, and then I was just like, oh, how do I get my bookmarks over into my mobile phone? And it's I think a spreadsheet is the way to do it.
It definitely is. I have a spreadsheet with like 160 proposals on it, and
yeah,
me like
I'm
an
just
hour and a half
voting
per
for the
wallet.
impact list, and then a few ones that are not on it, and then the WADA list. So Daniel, I'll vote for you as well.
Thank you. Afia.
Okay.
I'm putting all of yours in my list as well.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on into the working team meeting tomorrow. I'm just working on the document that we've got. I'll share my screen. And make this big, okay. And oh, ClickUp. Is anyone using ClickUp? I know that came across last week.
Yeah, I spent some time with Melanie last week working on it. for the like time stamping, and yeah, ClickUp's super cool. Kind of is a good place for everyone to come together and like add tasks, add subtasks, and then can even like add the times it takes for each task. And just like
Oh,
there's a lot of really cool like ways to integrate like what we've been doing, and like add Google Docs to it, all this different really cool stuff.
what is that called? Time. It's not time stamping. I think of like a stamp on a video, but time keeping. There's a word. There's a phrase for it.
I think yeah, it's like
Time something. I have an old app called Time Cop that was really good at it. Time management. Yeah, time task management thing. Yeah.
yes, something like that.
It's not, they have a click, you know, kind of a, you know, markety kind of word. Okay, and then the little fish did some stuff with Ikigai. Okay, because that's what's going on our, you know, on our this is the Tuesday meeting. And so I added you, Daniel, and CardanoCube categories of impact, and I gave you so we'll give you a few minutes to discuss all of that. Yeah, maybe 10 minutes, because I do think that that this idea of the SDGs, as I reflected, I was like, man, I wish that we had a more focused way of addressing. I'd love to be able to pull out the SDGs, like I quote the Bible, and I don't know why, I don't know when that started happening, but like oh, you know, it's old wine into new wineskins. Like I would love to be able to say, oh, that's life that lives below the water, you know, or you know, no poverty, or infrastructure systems. You know, I'd love to have that at the top of my thing.
I think we should start sending the people the SDG tool that it's on idea scale, so people can start analyzing their own projects and start getting to know the SDGs. And maybe I think, Cole, you are certainly right. We have to start with something very simple at first, and then try to get the SDGs more involved with our impact on Cardano, and the people to use it as the main framework. But that doesn't happen easily because SDGs are complicated, to be honest.
Yes, they are. Yeah, no, I agree. And I think like with time, more people will kind of get used to it as well. And the more we make it clear, like, I mean, I feel like it's a really important thing for everyone to know like what they are and how they work with each other. And be more aware of how their projects or their like little initiatives are like kind of affecting the SDGs in a positive or negative way.
Definitely. Oh, and Afia, while you're here, I saw I saw this. It was in the WADA. Oh, where did it go? Yeah, here you go. Yeah. This one right here. I want a C4C screen just like this. Like I want to have the 3 pillars of C4C, and I want to have the 3 values and principles. Like I just would love to see that. I want to bring that up because this is now all of a sudden I know exactly what WADA is about. That I know exactly why I support WADA, and that people I can easily share that. So I think that I want to bring that up in tomorrow's working team meeting, and it's a perfect way to like celebrate a birthday. It's just like, oh look, our little
yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that. I think I might. I'm gonna copy this and put it into. I'm going to put it into our document here. Yes. Oh, no, right here. Like WADA slide. If I post that. Oh, no, that's good. Perfect. No,
it's gone down.
It came up in the wrong spot.
Maybe you have to reduce it, huh?
Let's see. Let's try one more time. Huh, wonder why. No worries. See below. Oh yeah. I'm gonna stick it down here.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so these are the things that we could talk about. Always talk about accounting. Next event, here's a goal. Next event, everyone gets paid in in 1 week. Birthday celebration, voting, next events. I don't know. I'm gonna take that off. That's probably, we'll figure that out. And what other things would you all like to discuss in the team meeting? Working team meetings coming up. Yeah, anything burning? I mean, it really is about like getting, I think the calendar, well, these are probably good enough. We got the birthday celebration, voting, the next events.
Is the next event the onboarding event?
Yep.
Okay.
It's and that really could be like, you know, I don't know why, impact lead generation.
Yeah, that could be, yeah, we could definitely present that there.
Okay.
And Cole, this might be a good time to discuss this, because as I understand it, or actually if you want, because so the impact lead generation it's a tool or a method or
Yeah, we're eventually gonna kind of try to create a tool out of it, but right now it's just like a model. So like we're creating a model so that we can onboard like community members in the Cardano ecosystem, get them the right resources to then go out and reach out to like impact driven projects and organizations. And just by like starting the conversation and onboarding them to like enter the ecosystem, we'll like incentivize them. And then let's say they wanted to like further collaborate with that project or organization, they could like introduce them to Catalyst, like do a Catalyst proposal, or like introduce them to other project team where they can then work with that project team, and then we incentivize the lead generators a little bit more for that type of work as well.
And it sounds like you're training people to go out, find impact projects outside of Catalyst, maybe even outside of Cardano, maybe it's cross-chain or and then bring them in. So it's an onboarding. So
So pretty much it's like an onboarding mechanism, and we're trying to like I bet the whole model will change kind of a little bit over time, but we're trying to like make it so that anyone can kind of like enter with the resources we're providing and then go reach out to the people like
that. I think that's what I think that really would be the focus. And if while you're having these meetings, we don't have a date for the next event. It will probably be sometime in October.
Okay.
And yeah, let me put that down. Like it's gonna be sometime in October.
But yeah, I think this could be a good way for like people to start maybe being incentivized to like onboard more impact driven organizations, and then also work within C4C a little bit too, or
Right.
That could be like their first step to getting onboarded into C4C kind of.
Right, and that event is a space for that very thing, right? It's for like it's kind of outwardly facing, like where we introduce Cardano or blockchain, and then we introduce Project Catalyst and why we think, and then C4C, like what it has to do with the SDGs and this impact movement that's going on, and that we have an interconnected community here that can support these projects as they go through the Catalyst process, and or bigger, outside of Catalyst even. So yeah, that if we can get like the people that run through that come to these meetings, the impact generator meetings, like make sure that they know that there's an event that C4C produces at each funding cycle, specifically for this task of onboarding projects. And that there's basically in the past, we've done funded proposals that sort of kind of like people that have gone through it, and then they say, hey, look, this is how you can do it. It's pretty easy. You just go in and you don't have to, there's no prerequisite. You can just go in and fill out a proposal. You can come to the C4C meetings and you can get feedback and help and etc. Yeah, so that sounds good.
Yeah, I'll start to mention that a little bit more in those meetings. And I feel like it could be like a cool stepping stone to like getting people more into C4C and like and more interacted within our community. And then this last thing I just dropped actually, it's a cool graphic I found the other day that kind of connects every SDG to some part of blockchain. So that could be helpful too when kind of breaking down the different categories and like
Obiso can say he's not able to join.
Were you able to get it, Afia?
Hi, I'm supposed to go into a WADA priority meeting.
Okay,
no worries.
Thanks, Afia. We really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. That was really great.
Soon.
We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Does anyone else like? We're going to sign off here in a couple minutes. This was a great meeting. I think that we got some good work done. We filled out the events agendas for the next few events, and we set up things for the team meeting for tomorrow. We talked about the SDGs and this sort of categorization thing. I really think that what Nori brought up, this whole idea of a metadata protocol, I think that that's at the kernel of like why Web3 is empowering. So I definitely want to like dig into that. Actually, this graphic that you just shared, Cole, like really does bring in like blockchain, because so many people ask me like, oh, you're in blockchain and in impact. Isn't like blockchain just another example of technology solution? I was like, well, no, I still believe that, like this can really get us, and technology is not going away. So we want to make sure that those technologists also are sort of heart-centered, that are in, that understand the context of the whole globe, and that don't build things that are just totally, ridiculous and whatever. Like we really need to hug this technological bear, that we're in. And what else did we? So the blockchains, the technology, we did a lot of stuff today. We did good. You guys have anything, closing thoughts?
No.
I think one main thing we should also transmit to the people onboarding into Cardano is that using blockchain, mainly the Cardano blockchain, is you're already helping the planet because of the low carbon footprint that Cardano uses. So basically every project in Cardano is impact related in some other way because they use that blockchain. So I think that's the main stepping point for us. One thing I read the other day is that Cardano is 47,000 times more carbon efficient than Bitcoin. So that's amazing, and we should really get that thing. And yeah, I think preparing the people to get to know the SDGs and working with that main framework should be great. And well, I know Michaela works very closely with the SDGs, and maybe we can also get into that main framework as a community. So, yeah.
I agree. I think it's something we should definitely be exploring and all being more comfortable with.
Yeah, maybe we could do some workshops around the SDGs, tell people what are they about, give them the tools. This graph you just showed, I think it's really helpful as well. So we can plan that.
Yep, I've got that down for education, like SDG awareness. I think that, you know, we're already doing it, but we can do better. This time is like, what have we done in the past that we're reflecting, and then we plan and do, reflect, plan, do, you know, that beautiful thing. Speaking of that, let's sign off.
Sounds good. Have a great day. Have a great day, guys, and speak
Okay.
soon.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, YouTube.